if you're like many, Left 4 Dead was a really, really good game, especially for the zombie genre. It kind of started a whole new thing of, zombie shooters. But there's a lot of people that have some positive and negative thoughts on this Back 4 Blood game that came out, and the beta was this last weekend. I played it a little bit, and I just want to share some of this information with you all. Now, I'm not going to say right off bat that this game is great or this game like totally blows, because we only got a snippet of the game this weekend. So we only had, I think, one act, which consisted about 5 or 6 maps. I think it was only 5, but either way, the campaign mode on here kind of felt really linear in compared to what we were seeing in Left 4 Dead. So if you really liked Left 4 Dead, it probably isn't going to be your best suit, or you're gonna think that this is like, way above and beyond of what Left 4 Dead used to be, because Back 4 Blood is really kind of its own system. It has a new card system, which I found kind of interesting. It gave you a little bit of a challenge of trying to figure out something new when you're doing this type of zombie shooter. Now, you have different types of things that you can run with. You can have an aggressive, a defensive, or you can use like utilities and stuff like that. Kind of like a healer or someone that's more tanky or something like that. But it's not really a healer or tank, but you do have characters that will be able to choose cards that will better suit which way you want to play your character. Now, this isn't really that difficult of a system. It just seems a little bit overcomplicated at the moment, maybe because it's new and they're just trying to implement this, kind of like they've done with other games where, you can have like a card system like this. The minor bugs and stuff like that is not that bad because it's a beta and we expected that. Something like the Ragdoll effect was kind of hilarious, but those were just, the things that we're going to expect out of a beta. The Ragdoll effect was like the zombies would just either sit there and they would fall over, or they would fly across the map, or not the map, but you know what I mean, just kind of fly into something unexpectedly. There was like lack of a Ragdoll effect. Now, we played through pretty much all the campaign that they gave us. Was just Act 1, and that is kind of the things that I'm worried about with this, is that you get 3 types of packages you can buy, which is the $60 one, which is the standard. You have the $89 one, which is the deluxe, and you have the ultimate for $100 freaking dollars. Now, that I am kind of worried about, because the standard, how many acts are we going to get with that? We have no indication of what we're going to see there. If it's, maybe like 10 acts, I think we'll be in a zone where it may be worth a $60 price tag. But if it's only like 5 or 6 acts, I think we're going to feel a little left out. And the fact that the deluxe and the ultimate editions only give you the extra story, because it says new storyline or new story. Now, if they make this game to where you play out in the standard edition and you get to an end and it kind of doesn't tie anything up and it just wants to continue with these DLCs throughout the next year, that is kind of a kick in the face, because, you buy a game, even if it's $60, I mean, it's still $60, man. If you buy it for $60, you want to have that full story of what they expected in Back 4 Blood. Just like Left 4 Dead, you had everything, but then later on, they came out with other DLCs, which continued on a different type of story. So if they try to keep the same story in there because they already have this pre-planned, that is not cool. Another thing with the deluxe and the ultimate is that you get new characters, you get new special written, which means there may be a possibility that it seems like it's a pay to win type situation if the new characters have better stats, because each character does have different stats that are beneficial to your group. So if you have these other characters, and especially when you're going into verses and stuff like that, it's gonna feel like a pay to win type situation. especially with the Ridden. You have different Riddens. These are likely going to be more powerful than the original ones. So if you only have the standard edition, you're kind of feeling left out. That's what they're, depending on, that you have some sort of FOMO. Now, it's not all bad. I did have a lot of fun with this. I was actually, excited about the fact that they had the humans versus the zombies or the Ridden, because that is what I liked in the Left 4 Dead series, is, that type of versus. I know a lot of people are not happy about not having a campaign versus type situation. They may actually still add this. You got to remember, this is very early access, beta. So there is a lot of stuff that they're not showing us yet, and they probably don't have ready. And they're not fooling anybody. We know that this is trying to entice people to buy the game. Yeah, it's a beta, and they are asking the questions, which I'm glad they're actually doing, because a lot of times they'll put out a beta and they won't ask you questions. They'll expect you to go up on the forums and stuff like that, and check YouTube for commentators like myself. Probably not me, but they'll most likely try to just take a little bit of that information in. But they're actually, once you close the game out, they ask you a bunch of questions that you can ask. But they're not fooling anybody. It's still, they're trying to entice people to buy the game. Now, the last thing I want to point out is the game mechanics itself and the gunplay. Really, really well done for an early access beta. Everything ran very smoothly. I played this on my i9 10900K and RTX 2080 Ti, and I got 165 to 200 frames per second, and that was while I was running OBS Studio, and that was actually pretty good. I mean, it ran very smooth. I had a few hiccups here and there, but that may have just been my system, trying to take everything in, because like I said, I was running, OBS Studio and everything at the same time, and I didn't really optimize beforehand. I just got in, started playing. But overall, everything felt really smooth, and there was no major issues. I didn't run into any major bugs or anything like that. That they really had this polished through. So they probably had it polished through from Left 4 Dead as well. Anyway, I think this game has a lot of potential to be the next Left 4 Dead. I don't think it's going to be like Left 4 Dead, and I think they are, making sure that it's not a carbon copy of it. They're trying to get the feel of it, and it's not hitting the mark yet for me. But there's a lot of time ahead that anything can happen. Anyway, let me know what you think. Is this a great game? Did you play it this weekend? What do you think? Anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching this video. Make sure you hit that like button and definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel. You all take care and happy gaming.